We got some Japanese beetle problems here in Heartland, Michigan. An infestation, if you will. They have skeletonized nearly this entire top half of this grapevine over here. So I figured today would be a good day to talk about the old bag-a-bug Japanese beetle trap here. Some people love it, some people hate it. So let's go ahead and put this together. Comes packaged like this. Here's the outside and top of your trap. It's two pieces. They have these grooves that fit together like this. Here's your bags that catch the beetles. They come with this fancy green string thing here. I use this to hang my bags. So we'll take this portion with these holes up top. I will take my green string thing, put her on through one hole and over the side to this other hole, and give it a nice little twist. And then they're going to give you these two bags to work with, so when one gets all disgusting and stinky, you can throw it away and refresh it. You'll see it's got these little holes here. There's going to be 4 of them. That's what these slide into. So you kind of force it through just like that. Do that all the way around this trap. Here's your trap set up. This portion is your bait. Take the back off, and then these grooves here that are even is where your bait slides in. Slide one side in, and then pop the other side in. And then they tell you to fold this tab in here so the rain can't get in there. There's a lot of conflicting information about this. We'll talk about the good and the bad, and we're gonna catch some Japanese beetles, and I'm gonna show you what I do with them. I can tell you right now, the worst part of this setup is the cost. I don't understand how these can be so expensive. Similar versions cost just as much. For this video, we're just gonna be talking about the Spectracide one because this is the type I use. Really, I believe the cost is ridiculous. As far as trap placement, this here is a big no-no. You're not supposed to put it right at the plants you're trying to protect. I do. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. The directions tell you to put this 30 feet away from plants you want to protect, and I'm 0 feet away. But I do have another trap over here about 30 feet away, and if we check this trap, we'll see that we got some beetles in there, not a lot. The trap right on this grapevine, and I'm gonna come in here nice and calm as not to scare all these beetles. This guy is loaded with beetles as they fall into my hand and fall all over the place. So what I've learned personally is these traps are not preventing Japanese beetles. When I put them further away, it's not like the Japanese beetles are like, hey, I'm gonna go over here. All these beetles were on this vine before I put this trap here. My goal using these traps is to take as many beetles out of the ecosystem as possible. Another thing about these traps is once these beetles actually congregate somewhere and start getting down to business, what they're designed to do, they really don't care about the scent coming out of this trap, but some do. And they go into the trap and I eliminate them from the ecosystem. And that means less Japanese beetles next year. So even if we have a beetle infestation here, the more beetles I can get to go into this trap, since they're here anyway, is better off for me in the long run. If you're worried about these bringing more beetles to your plants, something else you can do is find other plants that the Japanese beetles like around your property. Virginia creeper's one, wild grapes, if you have rose of Sharon, or in my case, these wild raspberries here that are loaded with Japanese beetles. I'll go ahead and I'll just hang this trap over here. So then maybe some of these beetles flying around will make their way into this trap and I can remove them from the ecosystem. The grapevine is over there. These raspberries are over here. We are past the 30-foot mark. One of the things I learned is if I don't install these near one of the plants that the Japanese beetles like, I don't catch many Japanese beetles. I wish it was the case that I could set this up somewhere and all the beetles would flock to these traps. That's not happening. I had traps set up by these cherry trees here that have been hit hard, but oddly enough, even though these cherries and that grapevine are getting hit, these apple trees have been left alone. This Concord grape has some beetles, but compared to the other grape, there's barely any damage here. And then these peach trees, they're not touching these peach trees. Peach tree from seed out in the full sun though is loaded with the Japanese beetles, tearing it up. Got a trap here that is loaded with beetles. Now, if this trap was somewhere else, it used to be over here by the Rose of Sharon, they're not really messing with the Rose of Sharon. They rather eat that peach tree. So what I'm getting at is, don't look at these bag of bugs as prevention. Look at them as more of an extermination method. So now I'm going to take you around. I'm going to show you all these traps I have set, because I have several traps throughout the property. I'm going to show you how we're going to do some damage to these Japanese beetles. So one of the tools for this is going to be this pitcher of water. I don't put soap in here because I'm going to use these Japanese beetles to freeze and save them for my chickens. Or today, we're going to give them to them fresh because the chickens love them that way too. But I'm going to start out by carefully grabbing this trap. We're going to dump it in here and see what we got. So here's the bag from the grapevine. I just took it off the yellow holder over there. I'm going to take it, turn it upside down, and shake her down in here. You get a lot of beetles that kind of get stuck in this portion here. You just gotta massage them out. If you don't dump these beetles every day, they're going to stink really bad. But the chickens don't care. Then just to make sure nobody flies away, I'm just gonna give them a little swish here. Take my bag, reinstall it. So not a ton of beetles in there, but beetles that will not be laying eggs in the soil to make grubs and reproduce for next year. And that's just one trap, but more importantly, besides the traps, when I'm emptying these traps, I am walking around with this pitcher to do some manual removal. I'm gonna start out by saying, this is the worst time of day to do this. When it is hot out, these Japanese beetles will go crazy. They are probably the dumbest bug on the planet, to where their way of getting away is falling. So I can put this underneath a leaf full of Japanese beetles and kind of just touch them and they fall right in here. When it's hot like this, if I make too much ruckus, this whole vine will erupt in Japanese beetles flying all over the place. So I go through here, try to do it very calmly and slowly, where I will put this underneath the leaf of beetles and just touch these beetles in here. And you can see there's a lot of them taken off now, but we are removing a lot of beetles. I try to find the leaves that have the most on there, so if they do take off and fly, at least I'm getting the most for my money. There's a load of them up here. I'm gonna try to get this underneath. Look at that. The good news is the beetles will be back in about 5 minutes. I can come here and spend my whole day just going through here and getting more and more of these beetles. So it's pretty decent. A lot of them got away because it's warm out, but we've got probably over 100 beetles in here. Now we'll go ahead and empty out the peach tree from seed bag. I want to make sure the middle of this bag is open, because sometimes it likes to stick together and then the beetles don't fall in and it doesn't work. Then we'll come on in here, I'll put this underneath there, give it a shake, and these stupid beetles fall right in. Got this trap over by this telephone pole here because we have some wild grapevines on here. You can see we have plenty of Japanese beetles hanging out here. Definitely not as many as there usually are. So I think we're starting to put a dent in the population, but this is usually one of my most effective traps. And if I was trying to bring the beetles away from my garden and this was attracting them, this is a perfect spot. Now I did put one trap in the garden, so today's the first time I'm going to look at that and see how that one's doing. So there's the grapevine that's getting tore up. Decided to try to put a trap over here, see if it would do anything. And holy cow, it looks like it is loaded. That's good news. I am getting swarmed by beetles now. I did not even see these. About 10,000 beetles just left, but there's still a bunch on here. This is a great trap crop. If you want to plant something that will make the Japanese beetles stay away from other stuff, it's going to be the evening primrose. So I like this. We're kind of finding out new things as we go. I don't know if the video is going to show it, but we have all these beetles on here. Going to take it. That's a lot of beetles in one go. And then we'll empty the trap. As I was putting it back, a Japanese beetle flew right into it. Told you, not the smartest bugs on the planet. So we got a decent haul just by checking those few traps there, manually picking off a few beetles in here. I do this every day as these beetles are out. I'm probably up to thousands and thousands of beetles from doing this. Just whenever I see them, go ahead and put that there and drop them in. And this is why I don't use soapy water, I just use regular water. So a lot of times I'll just take the beetles and I'll just dump them out here and the chickens go nuts for them. And here's another thing I do. I will drain the water and I will freeze these beetles and I can give them to the chickens for a nice cool snack. Another thing you can do, as long as you don't use the soapy water, is you can just let the beetles hang out for a while, make sure they drown and die, and you can bury them around the base of your plants, and that's fertilizer. The real stinky ones, sometimes I'll put them in the compost. As many of you may know, I don't use any kind of insecticides in my garden, not even the organic stuff, because I feel like the organic stuff can be just as destructive, if not more, than some of the other nasty stuff out there. And I've put together a garden that's so healthy that it can take a lot of this pest pressure. And we have a lot of bird friends that hang out in here that also help out. That catbird's probably eyeing up this birdhouse here to make a nest in it, so I'll try to make this quick. So the Japanese beetle trap, the spectricide trap, that gets a lot of hate from a lot of people. I like them. Is it the Japanese beetle end all? No, definitely not. Am I putting a dent in the population by getting these beetles every day and manually going around and catching them? I'd like to think so. For a smaller yard, yes, I'd suggest putting these traps further away from the plants you want to protect. With a small yard, I wouldn't go crazy buying a bunch of these things. One will probably do you good enough. And if you don't want to use the trap, go ahead and just do the manual removal. If you have experience using these traps, let me know in the comments anything I missed, and thanks for watching.